Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jupiter James, where I do what I want, when I want, and today I want to talk about astrology, more specifically my Planets Through the Houses series. This is going to be my 11th part, and this isn't quite a planet. This is more of a placement or a point in space called Chiron. Chiron is the wounded healer. It is the point in which our wounds are and wounds that we need to get over. It's also the medicine and the gift that we are able to give others, but we don't easily give it to ourselves. And so let's get into it, yeah? So with Chiron in the first house, this is gonna be someone who, for some reason, who they are, right? Who they are is, they are better able to appreciate others and their beauty and their style and their uniqueness, and they're better able to make others feel secure in who they are. But for some reason or another, they themselves hold themselves back. They stop themselves from doing things or initiating things, or believing in themselves is a little bit of a higher feat. And it is because they don't believe in themselves that they become such a humble person to big up everybody else. They're the ultimate cheerleader. They are the ultimate motivational speaker. They are the ultimate person to tell others how to believe in themselves and what to do and what not to do. But it is because they're almost like talking to themselves, if that makes sense. They are almost like wishing and hoping that someone would see that sense in them and big up them or hype them up. You know, these are the ultimate cheerleaders and ultimate hype men, because they just, for some reason or another, maybe in your childhood, maybe it was your father, maybe your mother, or maybe just your childhood upbringing, you weren't put in a position to be all you can be. You weren't given the permission to be all you can be. This gives me very much like a person who probably wanted to act or sing or paint or be creative and express all the magnificent things within them, but their parents were like, no, we ain't doing that. We ain't got the money for that. If you don't stop singing, could you shut up? Even though you were probably a good singer, right? You were probably a great singer growing up, or a great artist growing up, but you did it so often that it annoyed your peers, it annoyed your parents, it annoyed your brothers and sisters, to the point that where they would go, even though it was good, they'd be like, could you just shut up? Could you be quiet? And so for you, you were like, wait, does that mean that they don't want to hear my singing because I can't sing, or what? Or you were probably someone who was gay growing up, and you just held yourself back, you held yourself in, right? And so now as an adult, whether it's singing or your gifts or what have you, you fight against the need to not believe in yourself, or the emotion or the energy of holding yourself back. And because you can give others energy like no other. You can give others energy and motivation like no others, but to do it to you, it's like you really, really gotta dig deep and find that wound and say, I'm gonna put myself out there regardless. I'm gonna do it regardless, no matter what situation I'm in, no matter if it's perfect or not. You're probably like an extreme perfectionist within your appearance, because you don't want any type of criticism. You don't want anyone to be like, oh, that's wrong or that's wrong, because then you'd be like, okay, if someone didn't like me, that's not because my appearance was off, right? It's because they had a problem with something else. That's Chiron in the first house. And with Chiron in the first house, you will always, always, always run into people, places, and situations that are gonna try to test that in you. They are gonna try to hold you back. People are also gonna try to come to you and tell you you're not great, or pretend that they don't see what you're doing or how great you are. But you have to understand that you are. It is because you are great that for some reason, I feel like the universe puts checks and balances in places so that we don't become egotistical, you know? The universe has put this placement in your first house to keep you in check. And so when you walk on the street, you'll probably get looks, and you'll be like, wait, what the fuck they looking at? I know I'm not crazy. Why are they looking at me like that? What? I know I look good. Why are y'all hating? You probably get a lot of haters. A lot of people just don't, because they feel in their mind that because you look the way you look, that you don't need the adoration, you don't need the acknowledgement, you don't need the compliment, you don't need all those things, because just from who you are, you just look like you get it all the time. You look like you don't need those things. And so people kind of want to knock you down a peg. You'll always get people trying to knock you down a peg, whether it be from the looks they give you, from no notoriety in your career, no recognition in the work you do. You will always do that, but that again is because the universe just wants to keep you humble, and it wants to keep the power in check, if that makes sense. Because ultimately, to be honest with you, and I'll be the first to tell you, Chiron in the first house, you are fucking magnificent, okay? You are fucking magnificent to the point where it angers people. You are magnificent to the point where people can't believe it, so they don't interact with it. They don't know what to do with it, and so they just leave you alone, you know? So you just have to believe in yourself and understand and sit right within the skin that you're in and just say, look, haters gonna hate, but I'm gonna do what I need to do regardless. I'm gonna do it with frizzy hair. I'm gonna do it with crust in my eyes. I'm gonna do it with no money. I'm gonna do it with I'm gonna sing when my voice is broken. You gotta learn to do the thing even when it's not perfect, because you could fall into the trap of wanting to only do things when it's perfect, when you've got the haircut, when you've got the money, when you've got the clothes, when you've got the right setup. Do it regardless. The universe wants you to put yourself out there regardless. It needs you to fight against all the naysayers, all the haters, all the people who don't recognize you or don't want to recognize you. It needs you to do it regardless. Blinders on. Put yourself out there for the world to see, because when you do that, that will be the key to your destiny. You, listen to me, you are the key to your destiny. Chiron is a key, and it is in your first house. You, I'm gonna look at you dead in this camera right now. You are the key to your destiny. Boom. That was Chiron in the first house. So with Chiron in the second house, this is gonna make for someone who is, you know, money is probably something that was not given to them as a kid. Money or resources or security was probably very scarce for them as a child. And so they work against being frugal. They work against, like, this person could probably cultivate a lot of money, or they give a lot of money away, right? But for them to enjoy their money, or there's a wound around money for some reason or another. It could be like you don't want to give money out, or you give others money and you can be secure for other people or be a stable force for others. But for you to maintain security in your life is very hard for you. For you to, you know, not spend money against your will, it's because, like, you don't want to ever feel broke, and so you do things to not feel broke. Like, you're like, let me get my vibe up. I'm gonna just spend all this money and give it to my friends. I'm gonna buy my friends shots. I'm gonna buy everyone's shots. And so you probably, it's a seesaw for you. You battle between being extremely frugal and safe and secure, and also just wanting to give that money away to your friends and helping others. You probably help others maintain their money. You probably are someone who helps others maintain their assets and their investments, but for you, it's hard for you to do it yourself, you know? But I'd say that it is in you maintaining security that will be the key to your destiny. The key to your destiny is in you being very responsible with your money and being a stable person with your money in some way, shape, or form, or being a stable figure, or having stable values, very down-to-earth, grounded values, you know? Like, try your best to not be so up in the air and just be very practical. It is in you being very practical that you will unlock the key to your destiny and things will go smoother for you. So yeah, that was Chiron in the second house. Chiron in the third house is going to be someone who, growing up for some reason or another, maybe you didn't get along with your siblings, or moving out of your neighborhood was very hard for you, or, like, you know, yeah, like moving out of your neighborhood or your town, or seeking beyond the town that you're from was very hard for you. And so you have to learn to also speak your mind. Speaking your mind was also very hard for you growing up. And so whether it be in your childhood or today as an adult, you are working against that. You are probably someone who can get anyone to speak to you. People probably speak to you without you even wanting them to speak to you, or they confide in you and they communicate with you and they talk to you, and like, but for you to divulge what is on your mind, or for you to divulge how you really feel deep down or what your ideas are, is very hard for you. You'd rather just not speak or not say anything or just be cavalier, but you have to speak, because I'm sure you have amazing ideas. You have amazing qualities about your speech and the way you talk. Don't be afraid of like talking. Maybe you're from a foreign country and you have broken English, but you know your ideas are good enough to stand on their own. So just speak. Say what's on your mind. Don't hold back. Like don't care about how people feel about your ideas. Say them anyway. Express them anyway. You are meant to do those things. So yeah, were you stifled as a child communicatively? Did people keep a lot of secrets from you, or did people shoot down your ideas as a child? If so, work against that. In your adult years, whether you need to go see a therapist or do astrology, just understand that when you express yourself, when you talk, whether it be to a lover, a business partner, a family member, when you talk, you will heal. You are meant to heal with your words. You are meant to heal with your ideas. You are meant to heal others with what is on your mind. And so do that. Maybe you're meant to write something that heals people. Maybe you say things that heal people. Maybe you communicate things that heal people. Maybe your conversation heals people. Whatever you do in the mental, cerebral, communicative areas heals others. But it is also the thing that can heal you when you learn to express yourself. Express yourself and you will heal it. Boom. So that was Chiron in third house. Chiron in the fourth house is going to be someone who, there's a wound around a mother. For some reason or another, you probably grew up with a mom that was probably very hard on you, or very absent, maybe an absentee mother or something like that. Like your mom was probably very hard on you, or you probably had a mom that just wasn't around. And so the mothering for you is very hard. Feeling safe and secure in your own nest can be very hard for you. There's a wound around maybe your living situation, or finding living situations are very hard for you, or just feeling safe and secure in your private life is very hard for you. And I don't know if that's because of the absentee mother, or there was no emotional security in your life. But what's funny about that is that you are emotionally security for others. People probably come to you for nurturing. People probably come to you for healing and emotional comfort and emotional nurturing and support. But you look around and you're like, well, damn, who's emotionally supporting me? Like, who's emotionally giving me what I need? So what I would say is that I would find a way to either, I bet though, when you have kids, it's gonna heal it. When you have kids, you are probably gonna be the best parent. You are probably gonna be the ultimate parent, like the best parent, the parent of all parents. And so that's kind of my only advice, is to have kids, or to get a pet. Maybe get a pet, or do something where you have a plant or something that you just take care of. It could be a career, it could be yourself. That's what it is. You struggle with taking care of yourself. You probably have taken care of others growing up and in your life, that you struggle taking care of yourself, and you maybe need to just learn how to take care of yourself in your private life. Don't put all your focus on your friends. Don't put all your focus on your family. Try your best to do something that heals you. Try to take yourself on a spa day. Go get a massage. Do something that feels good for you, not for others. And that will also be the key to your destiny, you know? So that was Chiron in the fourth house. Chiron in the fifth house is going to be someone who, there's a wound around your creativity. There's a wound around dating. There's a wound around kids. So for you, probably growing up, your creative expression was probably stifled. You were probably someone who wanted to paint or sing or dance or act, and then your parents were like, no, we don't have the money for that, or no, go do your homework, or no, get your head out of the clouds, you're gonna be a lawyer, or something like that. And so you probably struggle with expressing yourself. You struggle with being that light that you know that you are, being that bold, expressive person that you know you can be. And in your dating life, it's also the same way. Like, you are probably someone who people want to date, but for you, you're like, I just don't feel like that. Like, you struggle dating. You want to date, but for something, like, it's just something that is, there's a wound around it. And like, I don't know, like, but you could probably be a very good like relationship coach, right? Like, you know the ins and outs of a relationship, or you probably big up others when it's time for them to go on a date, and you're like, yeah girl, like, I think he likes you, or that person likes you, like da 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 da, like woo woo. But when it comes down to you being romantically involved with someone, you're like, I don't know about that. Like, for you to get intimate with someone is very hard. Children is also probably very hard for you. You'll probably, I don't know. I would love to know those who have children, if it was hard for you to conceive children with this placement. Was it hard for you to have children with this placement? Did you have to adopt? Did you have to do in vitro or surrogacy? Was it hard for you to have children? If so, write down below. I would just love to know that, because that's my theory, is that it'll probably be hard for you to have children. You probably would have to do it in a different way. But yeah, so with Chiron in the 6th house, this is going to be someone who, there's a wound around your scheduling and your job and the service that you give in your job. You probably can't hold down a schedule, or to serve others is very hard for you. Like, you're just like, I don't want to do that. Like, you probably have been made to feel like you have to do that, and then although you could probably serve the pants off of others, but to serve yourself is very hard. It's like you give, but you get none. You don't do it for yourself. The service you give, you wish you could give to others, you wish you could give to yourself. And so, yeah, like, the key to your destiny though is to probably maintain a really good schedule, and probably stay on top of your self-care and your health and your fitness, and really focusing on you, because although you are probably a coach to others, you're probably a life coach to others, but your life is in shambles, you know? Like, you can coach life to others and help people with their schedules and their productivity, but for you look in your closet and there's clothes everywhere. You look in your home and no dishes are clean, or like, it's just hard for you, you know? Like, but you need to work against that. If you do that, it'll give you better clarity within your day. It'll give you better clarity in your career. And yeah, so with Chiron in the 7th house, this is gonna make for someone who has a wound around relationships, or building relationships with businesses and romance and marriage. Maybe I don't know, like, maybe you were betrayed when you were younger, and now you have to like work against the need to want to like not be in relationship with people. Like, for you, you're scared, or you're timid, or you're just recluse, or you would just rather not. And so but the key to your destiny is in union with people. For maybe you're just a shy person and it's hard for you. It's just very hard for you to be in relation with people. And I would suggest though, trying. I really would suggest trying, because it is in you uniting with someone that is going to be your key to your destiny. It is in you uniting with the business, or uniting with some type of career that is going to ignite your best life. And so I would really encourage that. I would really try to work on being fair, work on being in relation with people. Having symbiotic relations with people will do you very well. Do it, like, just try. So with Chiron in the 8th house, this is gonna make for someone who, you know, sex and intimacy is a very hard thing for you. It's hard for you to get on that wave with people. Like, and I would suggest and encourage you to really try to, you know, for some reason it's hard for you to make money. It's hard for you to get money from others, or yeah, it's just, there's a wound around it. Or when you do get money, someone dies, or I don't know. I feel like for you to be intimate with someone is gonna be a challenge, because there's something that happened in your childhood that makes you not want to divulge your soul to others. It doesn't make you want to do that for others. There's a wound around that. You are probably good at helping others with those types of problems, who are, you know, very secretive, or you're good at getting secrets out of others, but for you to divulge secrets is very hard for you. It's very, very hard. You probably are a healer. You are probably someone who is an esoteric or an occult healer, or someone who does astrology or does Reiki or something like that. But for you to do it to yourself, or for you to have that cleanse or have that moment for you, is not, you don't allow others to give you the same space and security that you give others in that realm. And so I would encourage really trying to battle that and get over that. So with Chiron in the 8th, Chiron in the 9th is going to be someone who, there's a wound around your belief systems. You know, maybe you do have all these higher philosophies, but you don't believe that you are worthy of them. You probably don't think that because of the background that you're from or what you believe in is worth you teaching. There's a teaching wound there, is where you want to be a teacher. You want to be a force for people to be motivated by or to teach, but you for some reason hold yourself back. You don't believe that you have the credibility to do that. You don't believe that you can do that or stand in your right and teach people. Maybe it's your age, maybe it's the background you're from, where it's like, I'm not that deep, who's gonna listen to me? Like, but you do have very deep philosophical things that you've learned, but you just need to say it. Why don't you just express what's on your mind? Say the beautiful things that's on your mind. Motivate, encourage, be the teacher that you know you can be. All these things that we learn, it doesn't matter who we are in the world, we've all learned them from somewhere, and it just takes the gall and the gumption to be like, okay, I've learned it, and I'm gonna be a teacher for those that wanna hear it. Whether people wanna hear it from me or hear it from Paul or Jacob or Sarah, I'm gonna be someone that people wanna listen to it from me, you know, because maybe they're better able to receive it from me than they are better to receive it from Sarah or Jacob or Paul. Like, just believe in yourself in that area. You can be a great teacher. You do have a very philosophical mind, but to teach it for you is like, no. So take your pulpit, get up on your pedestal, and express. Say what's on your mind. Say what's on your mind. I know there's a wound there for some reason or another. Maybe your parents or what have you didn't instill things in you, and you probably had to learn things on your own, and so you feel like, oh, I feel inauthentic, or I don't feel like I can do that. But you should do it. Just do it. Like, get out of that mindset. So with Chiron in the 10th, there's a wound in your career. There's a wound around maybe you attaining success or getting success or being successful. Maybe you're scared of success. Maybe you are probably someone that helps others be successful, like an assistant, or you are on the team of great people. You are on the team and you can help assist others be great, but maybe you don't want the limelight and you don't want the spotlight. Like, you are more behind the scenes and you can do it for others and help others be successful. But for you to take up the mantle of success scares you for some reason. And I would encourage you to break beyond that. The key to your destiny is to be successful. The key to your destiny is to be out there for the world to see. It is for you to be like, here I am, and this is my prize, and this is what I've made, and this is my claim to fame. Do it. Do not take the back seat. Do not continue to live your life where you are scared of success or always want to help others be successful. You know, you probably get your money as being an assistant or consultant or someone who, again, you got the knowledge on how to be successful, but for you to do it, you don't want to do it. Do it. Like, just do it. That is the key to your destiny, is for you to do it. You have the knowledge to do it, but you want to give it to others. You do it. You do it. People will also probably try to hold you back in your career, but you gotta fight beyond that. Chiron is going to continue to test you. It's that thorn in your side, you know. It's like, so wherever it is that even though you know you can do it, or maybe you hold yourself back, maybe it's not even you holding yourself back, maybe others try to hold you back, but you just got to fight against that. Continue to be a fighter. You're always going to have that thorn in your side that is always like, every time I try to excel, people try to hold me back. Every time I try to do something, people want to say that I'm not good enough or that I can't do it. Do it anyway. You will always have that test. You will always have that thorn in your side where people are going to try to knock you down a peg and say that you're not worthy or you can't do it, or even if that's your own being and you saying that to yourself, that will always be there. But you just gotta fight You gotta fight and do it with that thorn in your side. You gotta do it regardless. You gotta do it in spite of. You gotta do it with it there. So yeah, that is Chiron in the 10th house. Chiron in the 11th house is gonna be someone who has a wound around their friends. For some reason, maybe it's hard for you to make friends. Maybe you have friends that have betrayed you in the past, or to find friends that are unique like you are is very hard for you, or to find where you fit in or the communities that you fit in is very hard for you. Groups are very hard for you. To fit in is very hard for you for one way or another. Even though you are someone that people want to be around and that people like, it's like, do I want to be around y'all? That's how you are. You're like, but do I want to be around y'all? Like, I know you guys like me, but do I like you? Like, I don't know. But for some reason, you need to get beyond that. I think that your friends and the networks that you affiliate yourself with, if you really put yourself out there, people probably have a lot of opportunities for you. People probably have a lot of businesses that they want to align you with and give you things. And because you do have a great personality, you are the friend's friend. People desire to be your friend, but for you, you just got to learn to put yourself out there. You got to learn to just be a part of a group, because again, people want to help you. People want to give you things because you are just such a good person to be around. But you got to get beyond your own shit and be like, okay, fine, I'll take a drink and just hang out with people. Fine, like, Jesus Christ. Like, just do it. And I promise that's the key to your destiny. You will become the most successful. You probably also have a wound around maybe like wanting to do something for humanity or the world, or have humanitarian efforts where you want to change the world. You want to do something that helps humanity in some way, shape, or form. And so I would really encourage trying to do that. I would really encourage trying to do that. Yeah. So with Chiron in the 12th house is going to be someone who has a wound in their spirituality. In your spiritual life, for some reason or another, you just like, maybe you can't get down with spirituality. Maybe someone took advantage of you spiritually growing up, and like now you don't trust it, or you just don't really trust in the universe. To surrender to the universe is very hard for you. You probably can help others and preach to others and appreciate the spirituality in other people, but for you, you're just like, I don't know where my spirituality lies. I don't understand what all this is about. I don't get it. I don't understand. And so I would just really encourage trying to meditate. Start there. Start small. Start with meditating. Start with just trusting your gut. Start with going outside, and whatever your gut says do, you do it. Like, don't take logic as the answer. Try little by little. These are little things that you can do to massage your spirituality, because you know the key to your destiny is in your spirituality. And although there's a wound there, it's the key. You know, the wound is the key. It's like, you know, when you break something open, the light goes in. And so that wound wants light to go through it. And so you just have to find a way to become a little bit more spiritual. Find a way to believe in something that is bigger than you. And I suspect that if you are watching this channel, if you are watching where your Chiron in the 12th house is, it means that you're trying. And so that gives me faith that you're on the right track. So keep doing what you're doing. I love y'all. That was my Planets Through the Houses series, specifically Chiron. If you need a birth chart reading, a love and career reading, a destiny reading, a soulmate reading, any type of reading under the sun, I'm your guy, and I would love to relay the messages of the stars for you. Y'all have a great day, and I'll see y'all on the flip side, all right? Have a good one. Bye.